Here's what you missed on the Sully Baseball Daily Podcast.
I am recording this from the parking lot of Trader Joe's in Pasadena, California, not far from the historic Rose Bowl. That's right. This is turning into one of these days where I got to run a little bit here, I got to run a little bit there. I don't know when I'm going to sit down and record a podcast, and I realize the only downtime I have is these moments before I wander into Trader Joe's to buy dinner. So here I am, looking like a complete maniac in a parking lot, recording a podcast. I'll just say this. I hate fights in baseball. I really do. I hate beanball wars. I hate that. I think that's stupid. I wish that wasn't part of the game. I don't think it adds anything. I don't think it adds any machismo. I don't think it adds any flavor. I don't think it adds any color. I think it's stupid. The whole, he hit him, so I'm going to hit you. As a kid, I thought that was stupid. As a teenager, I thought it was stupid. In college, I thought it was stupid. And now I think it's stupid. And anyone who enjoys that, you're being stupid. That's just a stupid part of baseball. The whole, he got hit, and I'm going to show him by hitting him. That doesn't impress me. You hit him, so you hurt him. Oh, that's nice. He's on base. Thanks a lot. I'm much more interested in seeing my team win a baseball game than a machismo contest. And there's a precedent for this thing being stupid. In the 1988 World Series, Game 1, Tim Belcher hit Jose Canseco in the first inning. And in the bottom of the first inning, Dave Stewart hit Steve Sachs. As if right away, boom, you're not going to hit us, I'm going to hit you, blah, 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 blah. Next batter, Mickey Hatcher hit a 2-run homer. And if you remember, the Dodgers won that game by 1 run. It was the Kirk Gibson home run. But do you know what? The first 2 runs were scored by the Mickey Hatcher home run, which would have been a solo home run if Steve Sachs wasn't on base. So 1 run of that 1-run loss in Game 1 could be attributed to a lame beanball war. I never been impressed, even when I heard about the great Hall of Fame pitchers like, Don Drysdale would hit you, or Bob Gibson would hit you. I didn't care. That never impressed me. Don Drysdale's striking out batters impressed me. Bob Gibson's dominance in the World Series impressed me. But it never once impressed me that he threw at batters. My favorite player of all time is Pedro Martinez. And the one aspect of his game I never was impressed by was him throwing at batters. I'm more impressed by getting batters out. It was said I think it was Tim Kirchin was saying it on the ESPN podcast today, that no less of a figure than Earl Weaver was against his players throwing at batters because he said it could get people hurt, it could get people thrown out, and we have better players than them, and I'm more interested in winning a game. Carlos Quentin is about 400 pounds more than Zach Greinke. And there's this notion that Zach Greinke showed a lot by standing his ground. Yeah, how did that work out? If I were a Dodger fan, I would have no problem if Zach Greinke turned around, ran to center field, and hid behind Matt Kemp. Do you know why? You could call him a wimp, but you would also call him an active pitcher. I would rather have an active Zach Greinke throw 200 innings and be wetting his pants than a cool, tough Zach Greinke with a broken collarbone. I'm odd that way. Never been impressed by the beanball wars. I've never been impressed by the mentality of retaliation. We're just going to bring up the name Shawn Estes. Shawn Estes is always brought up in these conversations as someone who didn't do his job, man. Shawn Estes, he didn't hit Roger Clemens. Remember Roger Clemens, who we all know belongs in the Hall of Fame of douchebags. hit Mike Piazza, many, many times and threw at his head, knocked him out, threw the bat at him, all this. And Joe Torre went out of his way, and probably intelligently, to keep him out of the lineup in National League parks where any Mets pitcher could go against him. Why? Because the Yankees were better with Roger Clemens on the mound, and he didn't want anyone throwing at his pitcher. Well, finally, I guess Joe had no choice to do it, and he started Roger Clemens in a game at Shea Stadium. Now, Shawn Estes was on the mound, and he is still vilified by Mets fans. He threw behind Roger Clemens. He didn't throw at him. He threw behind him. Obviously, he did that on purpose. But everyone was mad that Estes, who wasn't even on the team in 2000, didn't deliberately throw at Roger Clemens. He didn't do his job, man. First of all, that's machismo BS. His job is to win a baseball game, not to put Roger Clemens on base in front of a potent lineup. Okay? That's his job. His job is to get an out. His job is to win the game, not to win a pissing contest. And what Shawn Estes actually did, and no one ever brings this up, was he showed up Roger Clemens so much more than hitting him ever would have. Do you remember what Shawn Estes did? He hit a home run off of Roger Clemens. I am so much more impressed that Shawn Estes hit a home run off of Roger Clemens than I would ever have been if Shawn Estes hit Roger Clemens in the back or in the face or whatever. To take Clemens deep requires skill and is so much more humiliating than throwing a baseball at him. If you don't agree with me, that's a you problem. If you're more impressed by throwing a ball at someone than taking a multiple Cy Young Award winner deep, that's a you problem. I have no patience for this beanball retaliation crap, and we've got to hear about it the next time the Dodgers play the Padres and Carlos Quentin is in the lineup. That's going to be the only thing they talk about. They're not going to be talking about the pitching matchup. They're not going to be talking about the NL West. We're going to be talking about this bull, and I hate it. Let me tell you what just happened right now. I'm in this Trader Joe's parking lot, and a woman came by, saw that I'm out here talking, and tied up her dog. And so I'm now looking after her dog while she's there. I'm going to get a picture of the dog while I'm here, but this is a strange situation. I'm not necessarily a dog guy, but I'm looking after this guy. Or maybe it's a girl. I'm not going to look. It's a dog.
There's a new podcast every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Unless there's a leap year, then we're going to do another one. Catch us on iTunes, Soundcloud, or follow us on Twitter at Sully Baseball. I'm your host, Paul Francis Sullivan. Please call me Sully.